Welcome to the Central Coast Weekly News 5 at 5, February 4, 2022. Students returned to schools from across the Central Coast this week for the start of the 22 school year. There's been a good deal of angst about the return to school. We spoke to Regional P&C spokeswoman Sharon Brown-Lee about how it's going.
Oh, look, it's been wonderful. All the hard work that principals and teachers have put in has paid off. Children have got to school, they're happy, they're safe. Parents are really pleased to have children back at school and know that they're being cared for. The only downside has been still trying to get those vaccinations for all children, and they've not been able to secure that second shot. But the great news is that kindergartens are off and running, that Year 7 camps are going ahead, and by and large, it's school back to normal. The concern around special needs children and children with that are compromised immunity, those kids, they're still staying at home, and there's a small number of them who may not come back to school, but we'll see how that plays out for them. And each and every one of those families is working with their school principal and with classroom teachers to see what's best for their own child.
And official local COVID case numbers for January are in. And at the end, it's 28,000 coasties have been reportedly infected by the disease and 16 deaths, according to New South Wales health data. It's not entirely clear exactly who has died and where it's been infected, but we'll get to that data later on. And the government and the Darkinjung Local Aboriginal Land Council announced a statement of intent to negotiate the potential transfer of ownership of Peat Island to the Land Council.
This is such a significant time for both Aboriginal and European people here on the Central Coast. This place holds many memories, not always good ones, but it's important that we acknowledge the history of this location.
Yet the announcement has met fierce opposition from traditional bloodline owners. A direct descendant of historical figure Bungaree, Tracy Howie, said traditional bloodline custodians find the proposed land transfer shocking and deeply disturbing. Going on to say, quote, to have the land of our ancestors palmed off by the state government to the Land Council is a slap in the face for those who have used this land for ancient purposes. And at Council's Wyong HQ on Thursday, Council Administrator Rik Hart has formally passed a swathe of motions in an extraordinary council meeting this week in his continued push to get the council onto a secure financial footing. Most controversial is the decision to reapply to IPART to maintain a 13% rate increase for another 7 years. Hart says it was vital so that the council can maintain its current service level.
Well, we can build our budget for next year on what we've got, so it's in situ, so that's not a problem. Our problem comes, we have to demonstrate to the banks that we are able to trade within our current limits. Now, if we don't get it, we will still have that time, and that's why we've gone this year rather than delaying it. We've gone this year so we have got time to be able to adjust the organisation, downsize to meet those bank commitments. At the moment, am I confident? I'm not 100% confident, I can't be. But what I am confident, I think this time round our application is considerably better. We had obviously more time and we had more experience. Also, we are in and continue to be in extensive dialogue with IPART over how to go about all this process. And I think it's fair to say that they have a much better understanding of our position this time round than they did last time round.
Local council critic Kevin Brooks was the only citizen who spoke at the meeting against the plan.
The numbers do not lie. The bulk of this rate hike is not to repay loans, but to fund a recurring structural deficit. The reports before us ignore and misrepresent the sentiment of the community. Of course, your senior managers prefer rate hikes to the hard work of improving productivity and efficiency as requested by IPART. But the community has spoken, and it is time to put their interests above those of a bureaucracy that both caused and benefited from the original deficits.
And Mr Brooks wasn't the only one angry with the decision, judging from comments on our website and social media. Council CEO David Farmer answered Mr Brooks' criticism, saying that the council had in fact cut huge costs from middle management and duplication and has increased productivity, going on to say that the council expected to make a small surplus this financial year. A look at the championship tour in Hawaii. Unfortunately, Shelly Beach's Molly Picklum has been eliminated from the Pipeline Pro despite a very promising run. She won her opening heat, becoming the first woman heat winner at the Banzai Pipeline. Then in her round of 16 contest against Frenchwoman Joanne Defay, she fell out despite scoring the heat's best wave score. She will need to work on her consistency for the second wave if she is going to make inroads for the top 5. And the Mariners have the FFA Cup Grand Final on Saturday evening in Melbourne, an absolute ripper of an opportunity for some ultimate underdog glory.
Melbourne Victory are a massive club. You talk about the biggest big clubs in the A-League, Melbourne Victory, Melbourne City, Sydney FC. Historically, they're a very successful club, but for us, we're fearless. We don't fear anybody in the league. And again, we haven't played Melbourne Victory yet, so I think, for both coaches, for myself and Tony Popovich, we're coming up for the first time this season. We know we're a good team, we know on our day we can beat anybody, and I think we've got a really good, strong, balanced squad.
I'm focused on what we need to do as a team to win the game. And that's all that's in my mind. It's a huge stage. Our boys play their best games when they're free and enjoying their game. So we want them to go out there, have fun. It's not every day. You might only have this opportunity once in your career. So really enjoy it, make the most of it. Just give everything for it.
And follow our weekend coverage to find out if the boys in yellow can steal a trophy down at Amy Park. All of these stories and thousands more can be found on our news website without a paywall and in this week's edition of Coast Community News, Coast Community Chronicle and the Pelican Post. Remember to subscribe to our email newsletter and our socials via YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify and Instagram for updates throughout the week. And look out for Sky's daily updates. We leave you this week with football and food crossover. Enigmatic chef Daniel is hosting an FFA Cup dinner to watch our team in the big final in Gosford.
I can't wait. The Mariners are in the FFA Cup. We're going to smash it in Melbourne. Right here at Baker Street, we're going to be putting on an all-you-can-eat buffet for only $50. You want to enjoy the cup at home? You can actually enjoy the cup at home and order a box. We're going to do free delivery. We're going to do a free Hawkesbury squealer. JC Entertainment are coming in here, setting up screens everywhere. Big shout out to the Mariners. Big shout out to Michael Dovey from DMC for supporting us, supporting the Mariners, and good luck for the FFA Cup. Come on in, eat some food, cheer on the team. I can't wait to bring back that cup.